The single best policy that's being taken to this election in 2025 is for a public post office people's bank, which the Citizens Party is fighting for to smash the power of the big four banks. The banks are screwing Australians in more ways than you can imagine. They are making, combined, the big four, over $30 billion in profits by gouging and screwing Australians in all sorts of ways through high fees and charges and higher than necessary interest rates. This didn't used to be. Before the Commonwealth Bank was privatised in 1996, the profits of the banks were much lower, and because essentially, not because they weren't better, essentially that money stayed in the pockets of their customers, the consumers, the small businesses that they serve. The Commonwealth Bank as a public bank was there to serve the whole country and not to make a profit, although it did make a profit. That wasn't its main goal, and that kept the private banks honest. Once we privatised the Commonwealth Bank, all banking in Australia became for profit, and the banks were just able to collude then and become this cartel to boost profits massively at the expense of the Australian people and the Australian economy. So the Citizens Party is pushing for a public post office people's bank. Bring back a government bank, set it up in post offices, which have over 4,000 outlets around Australia. That's more than all bank branches combined. So it'll be the biggest branch bank in Australia overnight. That'll allow it to provide banking services cheaply because the post office is already there. It'll also be good for the post office because right now the post office is under enormous financial strain, and so the current management is trying to close post offices even though they're an essential service. So this will save the post office network, which is why the licensees who run post offices support the postal bank. And it will be good for the country by getting investment back into communities, loans to small businesses, loans to consumers, etc. Support the Citizens Party's policy for a public post office people's bank.